Nick Walker guest poses 1 month after the Olympia. Everybody thinks he would have won the Sandow. Nick Walker guest poses 1 week before the New York Pro. Most people doubt he's the favorite anymore. Is there a significant difference that made people have these two contrasting opinions, or is it just the internet psychology of the underdog versus the favorite? In this video, we're going to put these two guest posing versions side by side to find out what's the deal. So on the left hand side, we have him guest posing at the NPC High Roller in the beginning of December 2023, exactly 1 month after the Olympia weekend. We all know Nick couldn't do the Olympia because of that hamstring tear, and after guest posing 1 month later, most people thought that Nick could have beaten everybody on the Olympia stage 1 month earlier based on that look. On the right hand side, we have Nick Walker guest posing last weekend at the Pittsburgh Pro, and many people expressed their opinions on social media concerned about Nick's physique and how he could now lose the New York Pro this coming weekend. From winning the Olympia to losing the New York Pro in just a few months, something must have happened, right? Let's see these two physiques side by side. Front double biceps. First of all, the stage lighting was different. Back in December there were more shadows casting on his physique, which most of the time is an advantage. We're talking about that goon light that makes a physique look better than it actually is. This might be the reason his midsection looked more streamlined too, because those shadow contours around the edges of his physique make it look smaller overall. To be honest, it does actually look smaller, including the midsection, which was the main focus of his criticism last weekend. As for the overall conditioning, he might have been a bit drier in December, but it's very close. Most of the difference is made by the lighting, if you ask me. Let me know in the comments below what you think about him in this pose here. Next is the side chest pose. Now, if we look closely at the glute ham tie-in details, he indeed looks to be drier in December at the guest posing after the Olympia. But if you pay attention, before he didn't squeeze that region at the Pittsburgh Pro, and he does it now. It appears pretty similar again now. What do you think? He's going to turn around next, and that can be conclusive. Back double biceps. He has a slightly different stance with his legs. Do you guys know which leg he suffered the hamstring tear in? I thought it was his right leg, but by the looks of this, it's the left one. Comment below. Regardless of that, looking at the overall shape and condition, I don't think there is any significant difference. Indeed, in December he may look slightly drier, and I'm not a nutrition expert or a competitive bodybuilder, but from what I've seen and heard, the difference I'm seeing here could be made after one high-carb meal, so it's not definitive for me to say which version of these two is more conditioned, especially when you have the lighting factor involved as well. Last is the most muscular, with different executions from Nick. Again, he looks a bit harder in the guest posing from December, especially through the lower body. Now, if we only compare these two versions like this, it wouldn't make sense to drop him from an Olympia favorite to losing the New York Pro, but the context is different. This level of conditioning 1 month in the off-season is excellent, but 1 week before a show is a completely different story indeed. Another problem about the Pittsburgh Pro that wasn't addressed in this comparison is his midsection in general, on stage and off stage, during the interviews and so on, which, if we're being fair, shouldn't matter this much. He could have had a high-carb meal or anything before this. This is not stage ready, and I'm pretty sure that even Chris Bumstead can lose control of his stomach in the off-season, so I wouldn't make such a big deal out of it. Luckily, Nick's getting on stage next weekend, and I feel like he's going to silence his haters once more. However, if his midsection will be out of control, and I mean out of control because he can't do anything about the genetics of his body, I'll be the first one to point that out.